gentlemen.
Uh-oh.
It's time for the Early Bird Special. Bringing you the best stories from the world of sports and sports entertainment. Now, here are your hosts, Sparky and Burdick.
Welcome back. This is the Early Bird Special. And don't worry, Tiffy is here this time. We're actually we're having her call in because it looks like that the video option is having an issue. But we are hoping to talk to the women's champion right now of the WWE. She hails out of Minnesota.
Good old Minnesota.
And also, I'm sorry, my friend. I forgot to talk to you as well. 24 KG is here, our wrestling analyst.
Yeah.
For his usual segment, as he usually does. Well, we're usually on Tuesdays, but because of this very special instance, we will have Tiffy.
And we got Smackdown coming to the scene.
Yes, we do. Is she on the line? Fantastic. We have the WWE Women's Champion, Miss Tiffany Stratton. What's going on?
The champ is here.
Hello. How are we doing?
Not too bad. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. We know you're incredibly busy, and we won't keep you too long. But we have Money in the Bank going on this weekend in LA, and who better to talk to than the woman that won it last year? So, what are your thoughts on the entire match this year? Do you think anybody has a chance to do what you did and shock the world?
Well, I don't think anybody will be cashing in on me.
Hopefully
However,
not.
I do think people will be cashing in on Io Sky, and I do think that person will be Rhea Ripley. I do think Rhea deserves that title, so I could definitely see her winning Money in the Bank. But overall, I'm super excited. I can't wait to be back in Bakersfield. I actually had my match against Becky Lynch at No Mercy in Bakersfield, so it's kind of like a full circle moment.
Absolutely.
That's right. Well, Tiffy, can you recall the moment that TIFFY Time became undeniably evident and embraced by the fans? Some would say it was during your NXT run as champ, which was incredible, your main roster debut, or actually when you cashed in on Nia Jax.
I definitely feel like my breakout moment was in Australia for Elimination Chamber. The crowd was super behind me during that entire match, and then I definitely feel like cashing in and winning the title off of Nia Jax was a definite moment of it's TIFFY time.
Absolutely. Now, I'm glad you brought up the NXT match because all three of us were in attendance that night. And watching you take on someone like Becky Lynch was just the start of your career, taking on these big names on the main roster. Obviously, you've gone against Hall of Famers, including your WrestleMania match against Charlotte Flair. What was your thoughts going into that one? And honestly, are we going to get more of this Barbie-style entrances? Because I loved it. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, coming out the package was straight OG right there. That was real clean.
Thank you. I hope so. That was actually sponsored by Mattel, and they had some cool technology with the little screens in the Barbie boxes. But going into my match at WrestleMania, I was so nervous. You have no idea. It was my WrestleMania debut. We're in Las Vegas, and I'm up against one of the best, Charlotte Flair. So I completely just went into that match knowing that it was going to be a fight, and I came out victorious.
That was one of the more intense feuds we've seen in any women's division in any company. I'm glad that you brought that up. What was the reaction when you walked back through the curtain after the match? We seen it took a toll on you, definitely, but you still went out there like a rock star in the press conference and showed them that it's going to be TIFFY time for a long time. But what was the initial reaction when you walked backstage after that match?
I definitely had a lot of people saying that they were proud of me. I had a couple people there that, have seen all the ups and all the downs. There has been a lot of downs that I don't think people see. Mm-hmm. So to have those people there and to, see my entire journey throughout my WWE career, it was so amazing to have them there. Unfortunately, we had a couple of, scrapes, boo-boos, owies.
Well, I was going to ask about that.
I have a little scar, and I've named it Charlotte on my face.
Oh, wow. Well,
nice.
I think it was all worth it.
What about the chipped tooth situation? The internet was running with that picture that looked like you had a chipped tooth. What were your thoughts on that one?
I never chipped my tooth. It was just blood on my tooth.
That's
so,
what I thought. That's what I was like.
yeah.
I don't think she chipped it, but I mean, I could see how it could have happened. But
Speculation was running wild over here.
I mean,
Thank God it didn't.
Absolutely, but I mean, the pain you would have to go through to finish that match with a chipped tooth would have been awful.
Oh,
No, think about
I
the
can't even
dentist.
imagine.
If that was the truth, if the tooth, you know what I mean? That press conference would have been major pressure.
Oh, yeah.
I want to dive a little bit into your background, a little bit in gymnastics and stuff like that. You obviously are a bronze medal winner as well in the 2016. Talk about that and how that kind of transitioned into wrestling.
Yeah, I definitely think being a former gymnast helps a lot with wrestling. I see so many gymnasts come in and become wrestlers, and they just pick it up so easily. So I definitely feel like I had a leg up from everybody with my background. The wrestling part came kind of easy to me. The character part was a little bit where I kind of struggled, but eventually I found my feet, and here we are. It's TIFFY time, and my finisher is something I used to do in all of my routines when I was a gymnast. So it's just kind of been a full circle moment in tying in my gymnastics background with my now wrestling in-ring skills.
With your wrestling in-ring skills, a lot of people don't know that you actually have some history with the Mr. Kennedy and his wrestling school. Could you elaborate on that a little further?
Yeah, so I actually had reached out to Greg Gagne. He's kind of like a family friend, and he agreed to train me. However, we didn't have a ring or kind of a place to train, so I kind of looked up the nearest pro wrestling gym, and I saw that Mr. Kennedy had a wrestling school. So, and he was nice enough to offer us to come train there and have Greg come coach me there. And I took, some of his classes as well, and he helped kind of shape the basics, if you will, for me, and helped me build a really good foundation of becoming a wrestler.
An accredited background right there, folks, for those that didn't know.
So I'm going to throw in because, as you would say, I'm a vintage fan. I grew up with the WWF and the WWE growing up in the late 80s. And, I took a break about, 7-8 years after the Attitude Era, and my co-host Burdick over here got me back in about a little over a year. And,
Tiffy, I'm going to tell you right now, it was right when you came to Bakersfield, too, is what sold
it.
me.
It was. But
That's awesome.
But my wife kind of laughed at me for the first couple months. She's like, "What are you watching?" And now she is the biggest fan. This is going to be her first WWE event this Friday, so she's pumped. But you've already faced Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, the woman really who inspired to start you wrestling. But if you could face any all-time women's greatest dream matches, who would that be?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I definitely feel like me and Trish Stratus have some similarities, if you will. We actually just tagged together at Elimination Chamber in Canada, and that was so fun. However, I would love to have a singles one-on-one match against Trish Stratus.
That would be a great one. I think the fans are waiting on that one. I have one last self-indulgent question for you as well.
Yeah, we've got one more.
I love to ask wrestlers this because obviously wrestling parallels into acting. We've seen many of you move into that. Do you have aspirations for that? And if you do, is there one television series or movie that you would like to star in or possibly revive?
Oh, what a good question. I would love to get into acting. I think for the past year or so, I've kind of just been focusing on wrestling and just trying to, build my career in WWE first. But I would love to get into acting, into movies, and I think I'd kind of love to star in a Marvel movie and kind of have like my own buff Barbie doll superhero kind of character. I think that would be kind of cool.
Okay, Tiffany, bump that. We're going to keep it real and debunk some rumors right now. I just want to know, is it true that you might be Cammy in the upcoming Street Fighter movie? I'm putting it on the table right now. Let's go. That's what I'm hearing on these internet rumors.
We'll have to wait and see.
Hey, all right, folks, we got it right here.
You're trying to get a scoop out of her.
Hey,
Come on, brother.
These self-indulgent questions going around.
Well, I mean, it's been awesome just in the, since you went over to the WWE, just seeing the growth. I mean, even whether it's on the mic or in the ring, we're just big fans of you and the whole TIFFY Time.
Most
so
definitely.
we're really pumped and really excited to see you this Friday.
Thank you guys so much. I'm excited to be back in Bakersfield. It's going to be kind of a full circle moment. I felt like the last time I was there, it was like a breakthrough moment for me.
And you are obviously going to be in action, right? Can we get a hint of who you may be taking on Friday?
I hope so. I really hope so.
No announcements yet? Okay. No, that's
no
cool.
announcements yet.
Just curious. But thank you so much for your time, Tiffy. Once again, Money in the Bank this Saturday at the Intuit Dome and SmackDown live from Bakersfield here this Friday. Tickets are still available. Tiffy, once again, we just appreciate your time so much, and thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
And Tiffy,
thank you for having me. This was fun.
What time is it?
It's TIFFY time.
That's right.
Thank you, Tiffy.
Thank you, Tiffy. We appreciate it. Sparky, we'll take a break real quick, and we'll come back on the other side with our thoughts on Raw on Monday and NXT yesterday, because I do have to get your thoughts on some of the stuff that's been going on over there, my friend. This has been the Early Bird Special on 101.1 FM, 1230 AM, ESPN Bakersfield. We'll be right back.